So I just finished watching the Demon Slayer movie. Gas. Me personally, I give it a strong 9 out of 10. I will give it a 10 out of 10. I'll probably talk about it on stream why it's not a 10 out of 10. But I give it a strong 9 out of 10 to even maybe 8.5. Very good movie. The movie knows how to make me feel bad for the villains, but you know what I'm saying? I think it's great. That movie was long as hell. It was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. By the time that film finished, I didn't even have to get up and pee once, and I drank a large fucking soda. I drank a large soda, and I don't know how the fuck my ass didn't have to pee. But regardless, film was great. Film was great. I was like, I had to go and watch it. Bro, I can't believe that movie's gonna be cut into 3 parts. Bro, Tanjiro and this other dude with the water breathing, they barely survived that fight. I don't think they're ready for all that extra shit, man. So, I want to talk about the Demon Slayer cinematic universe. These niggas in Demon Slayer are grimy. They'll kill you and your whole family for petty shit. They'll be in the movie like, yo, this guy has a vase that looks nicer than mine. Let's just poison them for no reason. I'm jealous that they got nicer vases than me. I'm jealous that they got better kimonos than me. Let's just poison them. That's how motherfuckers in Demon Slayer really be moving. I'm like, is this a real reason to kill motherfuckers? They really just be offing people for no reason. This shit crazy. I just heard my last clip. Why was that baby crying so hard in the background like that? That baby was struggling in the background. Oh, like I re-listened to my or some of y'all come at me. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? If the movie got that kind of thing where it feels like it's a bunch of episodes put together, it's not a bad thing. I don't know. When I was watching the film, that's just how I felt. I just felt like, damn, this just feels like I'm watching the anime in my house right now, but it's a bunch of episodes spliced together, if you understand what I mean. The fighting scenes were great, though. When Akaza popped up and he started throwing hands, bro started throwing hands. For real, bro started throwing hands. The whole thing with Zenitsu, bro, spoiler alert, right? Because we're already in, like, spoiler territory because we're talking about the Demon Slayer movie. That whole part with Zenitsu, right? You know Zenitsu was with that guy that had the hair and he had that little ass pendant around his neck? Wasn't that the same dude that made the demon slaughter this dude's orphanage family? Also, upon rethinking about the film, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna also give the film, once again, I remember I said yesterday around a 9, 8.5. I'm giving the film a solid 8.5. I know some people are gonna be like, nah, this movie was a 10 out of 10. You low-key capping. You know why this movie not a 10 out of 10 for me, or not even a 9, it's an 8.5 for me? This might be a hot take for some people. I feel like this Demon Slayer movie was like 3 or 4 45-minute episode specials, if that makes any sense. Because if you watch the Demon Slayer TV show on Netflix or whatever, I don't know where the hell they stream it, what, Crunchyroll, right? There are some parts in certain seasons where there's 45-minute episodes and then there's 22-minute episodes. It felt like they took like 4, 5, or 6 of those 45-minute episodes and they put them all together at once. If you know, you know. Good morning, happy Saturday. I'm still thinking about that Demon Slayer movie, and in my head, I'm constantly in like the mentality of there's no way we gotta watch 3 parts to that movie. You know what I'm saying? We have to see 3 parts, and each part is 2 hours and 30 minutes most likely, if you think about it. Who knows? The final movie might be a solid 3 hours. I would not be surprised, because Ufotable, I would not be surprised if in the last movie they're just like, nah, 30 extra minutes, 3-hour finale. I would not be surprised. It's crazy. And you know AMC Theaters is going to do some shit where they're going to be like, re-experience all the films together at once at AMC. Hell no. Imagine watching all 3 of those movies back to back to back. That's 7+ hours. My ass is going to be sore. You know how many times I'm going to have to pee? God damn. Hell no. I remember I did that shit once with the Hobbit movies. Hell no. I got to see the Demon Slayer movie. I gave it a strong 8.5 out of 10. The movie was a good movie, but to say the movie's a 10 out of 10, you smoking. That movie was not a 10 out of 10. I gave it an 8.5. It's an 8.5. You said, what didn't you like? Because you could tell the Demon Slayer movie was literally them mashing together like 4 or 5 45-minute episodes that they would have done on like the regular anime runtime on like TV. They mashed like maybe 5 or 6 45-minute episodes together. Two, the backstory for some characters was long, bro. Long. I feel like if anything, the movie had more backstory plot than actual fighting, if that makes any sense. There was a lot more backstory shit happening than fighting. But other than that, like, I have no crazy complaints. I still feel like it's a good watch if you're a fan of the series, but I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. You said I heard it was too much backstory. There was a lot of fucking backstory. And the movie was long as hell. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours on... the movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes on top of, like, the movie premieres that they showed in the theater. So I felt like I was in that theater, no cap, for, like, 3 hours and 10 minutes or something. My ass was sore by the time I got out of that theater because of how long that movie was. I was like, bro, this shit is long. I felt like I was watching a Lord of the Rings film or like The Hobbit. That's how long it was. You said save backstories till the very end. Like Akaza's backstory, I feel like it was a good backstory though. It was a good backstory. Akaza's was by far the longest. It's the main gripe I have with the series. How strong the age rating is there, but here in Brazil, the police had to stop kids from coming to the theater. Was the movie that graphic? Bro, the movie wasn't that graphic. I feel like if anything, the TV show was the same level of graphic as the movie. Cause the movie, there was some scenes where like motherfuckers was spitting up blood, but I'm like, they showed that in the weekly anime. So if anything, I feel like it was the same as the weekly anime. You said it's cause too much blood? I mean, I guess. I mean, you're fighting a bunch of demons in their home turf, and they're cutting you up. Of course you're gonna bleed. This ain't Danganronpa. What you want Pepto-Bismol everywhere? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. But other than that, I mean, I guess it was bloody. Hold on. Let me play some songs in the background. I think Shinobu fight was the most graphic. Bro, if I start talking about what happened in some scenes, it's gonna get into like spoiler territory. Okay. People been saying spoilers. Shinobu is on Shinobu's on Fraud Watch, bro. Yo, he said Shinobu's on Fraud Watch. Bro, classic. Not too much on Shinobu. Bruh. What got me mad? Oh yeah, and I also watched the movie in Japanese because I feel like the English dubbing of the movie was like impossible to find. I couldn't find that shit anywhere. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it in Japanese. The Japanese was great. You said no Hashira could take on an upper 3 by themselves. Facts. That's big facts. That's big facts. And to be honest, they got lucky with Akaza. To be honest with you, they got so lucky with Akaza. Like beyond lucky with Akaza. So in my honest opinion, I'm like, any of the other 2 that they're gonna have to fight, they're most likely gonna be cooked, and it better be at least minimum 3 of them fighting one of the upper 2 by themselves. You said if I'm copying Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, shit, I already got it. I already got it. We just gotta wait for a release date. I already got it. You said deluxe or standard? Deluxe. I already got it.
You said Retro, the coworker that's talking about this tweet. What the hell is this? My coworker didn't feel like waiting for the rest of Demon Slayer movies, so he read the manga by skipping all through the boring ass backstories and called it mid. Hey man. Hey man. I mean, look. One thing with Demon Slayer that I realized is that they have this format, bro. Demon Slayer has this format where they look. This is Demon Slayer's format on other stuff, right? Right? They go into a fight. One of the characters at this moment is about to die. Right before they die, flashback. Right? Let's go, bro. Flashback. They get hit with a flashback. They get a power boost. They avoid death. Fight continues. Right? Fight continues. Then you fucking up the enemy again. And then flashback again. Right? And that's like usually the consistent the fight, bro. You say you're not wrong, bro. You know why? Because they do it in the anime itself. Like when I started seeing that the movie was doing that same format, in my head I was like, bro, this is literally just the weekly anime episodes, but I feel like they mashed them up all together and then they were like, fuck it, let's just call it a movie. You said would have been better as an anime? Kind of true. Because they were using the same formula, because the anime does the same thing. But in my head, I'm thinking, damn, bro, are we really going to have to wait about 2 years for part 2? And then 2 years for part 3? Like, come on, bro. Just finish that shit. Because at that point, y'all stalling. What about the Zenitsu fight? Bro, the Zenitsu fight, I don't even know. I feel mixed on it. I feel kind of bad on what happened with like the whole Zenitsu arc though. I'm not gonna lie. Like the people Zenitsu knew, the letter he got, I felt bad for all that shit. But here's my question, right? This motherfucking guy, right? That was fighting Zenitsu. This motherfucker had the necklace with the water charm on it, right? Wasn't that the same motherfucker that, remember this guy with the prayer beads, crying eyes? Wasn't that the same motherfucker that got all those orphans killed? Somebody's gonna have to correct me on that shit, because that's been in my mind non-stop. Damn, even nobody in the chat knows. This is crazy. I feel like I'm the only one that picked up on that detail. Nobody picked up on that detail. You said the Stone Hashira? Yes, remember the Stone Hashira's backstory. There was an orphan that had the same water talisman necklace or whatever, like a choker. He led a demon to the Stone Hashira's hut where all the orphans were at. Remember that motherfucker? But then I'm like, isn't that the same motherfucker that ended up in Zenitsu's class trying to learn the thunder breathing art? It is him? That's crazy. They should have killed that motherfucker from the start. That kid was a problem child. So you telling me this same kid in the Stone Hashira arc that led the demon to the orphanage and got all the orphans killed is the same motherfucker that ended up in Zenitsu's shit and then turned into a demon himself, causing Zenitsu's grandpa and all that shit to happen? That motherfucker, you said, but he was a kid, man. Fuck that kid. They should have killed him. He was a menace as a kid, and he's a menace as a teenager and an adult. All that motherfucker caused was pain and destruction. He should have died. That kid caused a bunch of orphans to die, and now as an adult, he caused Zenitsu's grandpa to commit seppuku, or whatever the hell that shit is called. because he ended up finding out, oh, bro turned to a demon, so he killed himself. So I don't know. This character, they should have killed him off, bro. I don't even know how he survived that long to even become a freaking Demon Slayer core swordsman and then become a demon. Bro, and then that's another thing. He should have been broken. He should have been broken. The fact that he lost to Zenitsu is crazy because I'm like, bro, you're a Demon Slayer that turned to a demon and you still got bodied by Zenitsu, bro! You had the powers of a demon and a swordsman and you still got bodied by Zenitsu. No way. No way. They explained in the movie he only became a demon for a short time. They should have killed, bro. They should have killed, bro. Well, he's dead now anyway. Also, that Infinity Castle, bro. How in the hell are they gonna find Kibutsuji? You saw how big that Infinity Castle is? And then they got a whole team of freaking crows in there drawing all the maps out. They ain't gonna find them. They ain't gonna find them. All right. At this point, bro, hold on. Just in case somebody runs in. Right? Yo, they did Shinobu so dirty. Oh my God. They did Shinobu so dirty, bro. Bro, they did Shinobu so dirty. Bro, look. Look. They did Shinobu so dirty, I have to pause the music. Shinobu's sister got bodied by this, and the worst part is that it's one of those upper rank happy-go-lucky ass motherfucking demons, them annoying ass, like, oh my God, what are you doing here? Oh, it looks like you got blood falling down from your shirt. I should clean it up. You know what, let me kill you so you can stop suffering. Head ass motherfuckers. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Her sister gets bodied by this motherfucker. She goes there to try to avenge her sister. Bro, and she suffered the same fate, bro. If anything, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. She did all that training for nothing. She showed up there. She tried to do the poisoning shit. The poison wasn't even working like that. And then it's like, Shinobu's whole thing to me, though, is annoying as hell, too. Because I'm like, the whole point of Demon Slayer Core is if you fighting a demon, you gotta chop their head off to kill them. She can't even chop motherfuckers' heads off. So how in the world did she become a Hashira if you can't even execute the motherfuckers the appropriate way? So what is even going on in this shit? How did she even become a Hashira, bro? Nah. You can't even cut their heads off. Her whole art was poking and poison. You sounded like that demon. Her poison didn't even work. Bro, her poison didn't work. She can't cut demons' heads off. She suffered the same fate her sister did. Bro absorbed her. Bro had her in his arms and said, you're mine. He did the little bow wow to her. He said, let me hold you. Bro, he absorbed shorty. And then the worst part about it is then Shinobu had like a predecessor she was training. Bitch walks in the room to see Shinobu already dead, getting absorbed. Now what is she gonna do? What is she, bro? Pause the music again. If Shinobu's sister died, Shinobu herself died. What's this little girl gonna do? There's no amount of plot armor and there's no amount of anime backstory that you could hit me with that's gonna make her somehow beat or win that fight. The only way I feel like she gonna win that fight in the second movie, and I'm calling it now, is Shinobu is gonna do some shit where she had a poison inside her own body that was so potent that when motherfucker absorbed her, watch him halfway through the fight be on some and And I'm calling it right now because I'm just so good at that foreshadowing shit. I already feel it. Because if her whole shit is poison, you have to have some type of backup knowing damn well, like, she has to have some. You said that would be funny, bro. I'm calling it now. That's what I feel like is going to happen. This little girl that Shinobu ended up training is somehow going to defeat that broken ass, upper rank ass demon. Because he absorbed Shinobu, and Shinobu probably has some crazy ass toxic poison on some Hunter x Hunter shit where the motherfucker exploded himself against Mirim and then had a fucking cancer rose bomb. That's the only shit I can fucking think of. And then they're gonna be like, she died she died in good spirits because at least she ended up poisoning motherfucker. I feel like that's what the fuck's gonna happen, bro. And then if we talk about the fight with Akaza, Giyu, and Tanjiro, those motherfuckers barely survived. Barely with a capital B. And I think that motherfucker was ranked number 3. Bro, these motherfuckers, the movie ended with them being unconscious. That's how fucked in the ass they were, bro. How are they going to defeat the top 2? How, Sway? There's no way they're going to do it, bro. I don't know. They gonna need, bro. Oh yeah, oh bro, yes. Giyu's sword got broken 3 times, bro. He looked at Giyu's sword and he said, bro, he broke that shit into 3 pieces. All I'm saying is, look, watch in the second movie. I feel like they're gonna kill off another Hashira. I feel like they're gonna kill off another Hashira, bro. And then they got Inosuke running in there going, ha 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 ha! What if, bro? Who's Inosuke gonna fight? What is Inosuke doing in there, bro? Shout out to Zenitsu for taking an upper on his own. I wouldn't even consider that motherfucker an upper. He was an upper? He wasn't an upper. That motherfucker was not an upper. Who Zenitsu was fighting? That was not an upper. That dude was not. He was a jobber upper level. Hell no. I wouldn't even consider bro an upper. Zenitsu somehow defeated that motherfucker. That guy was not an upper. It's upper 6. Oh my god. He was buns. Oh yeah. Let's talk about Akaza's backstory. My brother. Pause the music. Ain't no way in Akaza's backstory they poisoned the well of his soon-to-be wife and father-in-law because motherfuckers was jealous that he was beating them in their dojo. I was like, why did he poison and kill them? Oh, because bro was good at karate. I said, boy, ain't no way. You poisoned his soon-to-be wife and father-in-law because he was better at you than karate? Bro, when Akaza went to their dojo and he killed all of them. No, he didn't even kill all of them. He mangled all of them. Everybody that he went to that dojo and he just started punching their brains in, bro. As a human, he was a human too. He wasn't even in demon form. He went in there straight hands and just bashed everyone's brains in, which was the most valid crash out because at that point I was like, bro, you know how much I would have been fuming to find out my soon-to-be wife died. I was gonna live a happily ever after.
Is just the entire plot of Cobra Kai. Crying face emoji.
You know, it's crazy. I never watched Cobra Kai. I think I was like episode 1 like years ago, and then I stopped watching it. But thank you for the biddies. It's crazy to me though that they did something that stupid.
That's how the Shinobu fight went. I was so livid. //imager.com/shay/kps.
I'm gonna watch that shit later. I ain't even gonna hold you because I still gotta get my thought process out. That's why I said that shit in the Instagram story. Thank you for the $2.
Link.
Then now Tainted with the 5. I'm gonna look at them links later. I gotta get my thought process out. Thank you, Tainted, for the 5. Thank you, Kless, for the 2. But how the hell the Demon Slayer universe is so ass. So ass. I would never want to live in that shit. I would rather live in a My Hero universe. You said Review-tro? Bro. I don't even know, bro. I dropped Demon Slayer in the 3rd season because I got tired of the same old fight, backstory, plot, armor boost, demon death, flashback. Bro, that's literally like, it's like a formula like that. I feel like I said, I didn't think the movie was bad. I thought it was a great movie for the fans, like people who like Demon Slayer. I like Demon Slayer, but man, Akaza's backstory is just the entire plot of Cobra Kai. Hold on, let me see this shit. What the fuck is this? You said that's how the Shinobu fight went. Stand down. You're weak. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay, buddy. What the fuck is that image? Is that Usopp? Bro, you're throwing so much references. I hate the way Kless does memes, bro. Like, he throws in so much references that make no sense. What the fuck is this? Tainted $5? Halo 3 midnight launch? 9 minutes? Hey, Tainted, you know what? I appreciate you, bro. Ain't no way this motherfucker sends me fucking a 10. I ain't watching no Halo midnight launch shit. Thank you for the 5, bro. I appreciate you. You bugging. Anyway, this movie, Akaza's backstory, Demon Slayer universe, no cap. It's either you're born as a rich person, which is like the 0.01%. And even as a rich person in a Demon Slayer universe, you could end up dying from some dumb shit. A demon walked in your house and killed your whole family that was millionaires. Now you're alone and rich. I don't know, bro. I would hate to live in that universe. In defense of Shinobu, upper 2 is just him. Bro. I don't know, bro. But then it's like I said, Shinobu, I feel like her shit, in my honest opinion, like I don't even know what to say about Shinobu. She can't even cut their heads off. All she could do is inflict poison. Which is worse, Demon Slayer universe or Attack on Titan universe? I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. I would rather live in the Attack on Titan universe than the Demon Slayer universe. You know why? Remember the Eldians in Attack on Titan? At least the Eldians in Attack on Titan, shit didn't hit the fan until Eren showed up. Shit didn't hit the fan over there in those cities until Eren showed up and Eren got older. Right? So the motherfuckers that was living over there past the walls, like, as long as I'm not living where the fucking Titans are at and I'm living, like, across the ocean, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. But in Demon Slayer, in the whole shit of Demon Slayer, I don't even fucking know, bro. Like, everywhere, like wasn't there demons everywhere, bro?
Bro, the moment he broke that dude's sword and started regenerating his head
bro,
and sleepwalking is the moment I knew he was gonna kill himself. There was no other way. And thank you for that ghost wife telling to stop cheating and accept defeat.
No, yeah. That's what I said. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of fights in Demon Slayer, thank you for the 2, where Akaza realistically could have beat both of them. No cap. No cap. Akaza easily could have bodied the fuck out of Tanjiro and bodied the fuck out of Giyu. Because they chopped his head off, his head disintegrated, and he was still fighting him with his head off. And he could regrow his head. He evolved like Muzan, his only weakness would be the sun. Crazy. So you telling me if he's upper 3, right? He's ranked 3rd. The other 2 are going to be the same thing then. The other 2 are going to be the same. So if they fight the guy Shinobu body, no, the guy bodied Shinobu, and then there's the one guy with the 6 eyes, looking like a fucking nasty ass, like disgusting ass face, and he has like he got like. He was talking without a head. You say he's talking with a head. He was talking without a head. Bro was talking without a head. But then, like, here's my gripe though. Like, I'm gonna say it again. In the next 2 movies that come out, they're gonna have to switch, and I feel like they're not gonna switch it. They gotta switch the pacing. They gotta switch the pacing. You know what I'm saying? Fight. And then drawn out flashback. We got to see a little bit of the flashback of the rank 2 guy, where he was talking about when he was born, since he had white hair and he had rainbow colored eyes, people viewed him as a god, and then they went up to him asking like to solve their troubles. So we got to see a little bit of his backstory, and then he was like, humans are so weird because they think that just because you're different you could be a god or whatever. They can't do any drawn out flashbacks. The second movie might be longer. Shut up, bro. That's what I was afraid of too, because I said that to myself after I finished watching this movie and it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. I said I would not be surprised if the second or the last film is 3 hours. They just make it long as shit. They're not doing that. They've been doing it since the Mugen Train. Oh my gosh. Honestly, a complaint is that the flashback shouldn't be a Joker's cards. The flashback should be put throughout the shows, not only in fights. But they've been doing that shit the whole time. There's a lot to cover, and the Mugen fight will likely the last movie. Bro, how are they going to defeat this guy? He's regenerating. He's regenerating in that big-ass world. And the world keeps on expanding. You know who they got to kill? More than ever, they gotta kill that bitch with the eyeball. With the freaking guitar. They gotta find that hoe. And they gotta kill her instantaneously. Don't even give that bitch a moment to talk. Just kill her the second you see her eyeball. They gotta kill that bitch. She got one eye. She a dirty Cyclops. They gotta kill that hoe. Because she's an issue. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm so glad that when I went to go watch that movie, like the theater wasn't like when I went to the theater, there were people in there, but it wasn't like packed, so it felt really nice to watch. I had like a seat to myself. I had some empty seats next to me. I had my bag there and everything. Bro. Chainsaw Man, I can't wait to watch that. When Chainsaw Man comes into the theaters, oh, I gotta be on that. I gotta be on that. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit I gotta watch it in Japanese. Cause the way I heard that motherfucker screaming Denji in Japanese, I gotta see that shit in Japanese, bro. You said I had the Steam Deck on me? Bro, I was playing Trials of the Sky, Pogo. Yo, 30, 45 minutes of movie trailers? Come on, dog. Come on, dog. You know how many times I saw that movie trailer where they keep showing Studio Ghibli Spirited Away? Bro, every time I see those ads, I get so annoyed because I'm like, bro, I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. Spirited Away again in theaters. Bro, Spirited Away came out so many times in theaters. Get on with it, bro. You said, Retro, you remember that Tobijiro got his eardrums exploded? Who? Eardrums exploded. Tanjiro. You said Tabijiro, you bum. I'm like, who the fuck is Tabijiro? Tanjiro? He got his eardrums exploded, and I think Giyu as well. You said I got you a stream game? Oh, JD, thank you for reminding me, bro. I think I saw it. It had to do something with bonking, right? I have no idea what the hell that shit is. In the Smith village? What the hell was that? Movie trailer is getting annoying. Nah, bro. But they told me the movie was gonna start at 6:15. I felt like I was in that theater forever. Class might need to be yeah, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, overall the movie gets a 8.5. Bro, I wanted to see the Stone Hashira and the Bakugo looking motherfucker go
Demon
crazy.
Slayers fans when they don't get a flashback to win a fight that they are unable to win, and instead get beaten to a pulp by their belligerent opponent, greater than frown.
When they don't get a flashback to win and then they are able to win and instead get beaten to a pulp. Thank you, Kless. Thank you for the 2. You say, here's a cool video on Akaza if you want to see it. I'm going to be honest. That shit better not be more than 3 minutes long. Because that movie forced me to watch like an hour of Akaza backstory. And to be honest with you, I don't even think I want to see anything else in regards to Akaza.
Akaza has the most tragic backstory in Demon Slayer, but it's even worse
Alright, perfect. This is a short.
when you realize that his entire identity as a demon is all tied to his lost memories. Well, spoiler warning, but in Akaza's backstory, he was a criminal who was repeatedly beaten for his crimes. Wait, what? Yeah, his tattoos are...
Also, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. This motherfucker became a demon completely out of his will. Bro Kibutsuji pulled up and just yoinked him.
actually brands that say, hey, this is a criminal. But he did it all to try to save his dad, who he ended up losing. He also lost his adoptive father, his future wife, Koyuki, and when he crashed out, a very valid crash out, Uzan stuck his hand through his face and Akaza lost all his memory. Okay. What a lot of people don't realize, starting off with his color scheme, his pink hair, his pink vest, it's actually the same color as his wife's kimono. Wait a minute, what? Akaza's compass needle for his blood demon art is the exact same snowflake design as the pin in his wife's hair. Okay, that has to be a coincidence. Yeah, well, think about this. You know how I mentioned his tattoos? Yeah. And remember how I said he was tatted for being a criminal? Yeah. If you break down the tattoos along with the symbol on his back, they actually spell something out. What word? Koyuki, his wife. Oh, wow. Not to mention a very small detail everyone missed is that during the entertainment disregard, we saw Akaza watching fireworks. Then we didn't know what that meant, but now we do. All his attacks are actually names of various fireworks. The very fireworks he promised to take his wife to. Great, I'm crying again. Akaza has the most tragic backstory.
Okay, buddy. You said I don't blame him for becoming a demon? What do you mean you don't blame him for becoming a demon? He had no choice but to become a demon. Kibutsuji legit did this. Look, Kibutsuji legit said boy to him through his whole fucking head. You talking about I don't blame him for becoming a demon. He had no choice but to become a demon. Like, bro, his whole dome got buoyed. At that point, it's kind of just like, I either die or I come back as a demon. And I'm telling you, the fact that his flashbacks is what made him pass on is what made these two guys not die. Because they were going to die in that fight. He physically couldn't even say no. Yeah, because he had a whole fist and forearm through his head. He's going to hell, though. Let's be clear. Oh, of course. Of course. Even though, like I said, when he was a human, 100% justifiable crash out. You killed my father-in-law and my soon-to-be wife. Y'all all dying. Him going to that dojo and beating everybody's ass to a bloody pulp was so justified. You said his wife went with him, too? What the hell? Okay, Casual Senpai. Okay, buddy. I don't think his wife going to hell. What does wife do? Oh, it's because of the burning, the fire. You said Tanjiro doing that fake rainbow move at the start of the movie was cool as hell. Guys, it was a metaphor. Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah, I guess that's it about the Demon Slayer stuff. Bro, I wanted to see that Bakugo motherfucker fight. The Wind Hashira. I wanted to see him and the Stone Hashira going crazy. And then they even have the Wind Hashira's brother running around in there. I'm calling it now. That motherfucker might be dying, bro. Second movie, they're gonna kill off another person, bro. Yup, next movie, they're gonna kill bro off, bro. I feel it. They're gonna kill that dude off. It's gonna trigger the brother. Then the brother, like a mark, gonna pop up. I'm calling that shit now, bro. Yo, when Giyu's mark started showing, you know how hype I got? I think I was the only motherfucker in the theater that was clapping when I saw Giyu's mark pop up. Man. You said, I like how the Crows were calling the kills like it was a league match. I know. Bro, they got a group of crows flying around in there. I'm like, bro. And they scouting out that whole Infinity Castle. I'm like, bro, you're not going to find every nook and cranny in that Infinity Castle with a bunch of crows. And I know somebody in the chat going to be like, so what else are they going to do? I don't know, bro, but them crows ain't going... I don't think them crows are going to find Kibutsuji. You know how big that area is? He says Shinobu's a bum. Car. Bro. They gave us backstory for Shinobu and her sister for what, bro? And that upper 2 demon is so annoying. He's one of them happy motherfuckers. He's one of them happy ass, annoying ass demons, bro. Like he'll stab you and then he's like, "Oh my god, you're leaking. Oh, let me stop the bleeding." I'm like, "You're the one that stabbed me. Oh, let me stop the bleeding." Did you notice Zenitsu didn't get his call out for winning? Oh, true. The guy did fall down and his head did disintegrate. We only saw his head disintegrate. We didn't see his body Oh, come on, man. That motherfucker gonna land and have his whole head, body still there on some Akaza shit. Come on, man. No, he gone? Alright, chat. Yeah, man. Now we gotta wait how long, chat, for the next movie? Bro, we're gonna be old as hell by the time we're done watching this shit. You said I'm already old as hell? Yo, you youngins in the chat that are in y'all 20s. Y'all gonna be in y'all 30s before y'all even know it, bro. Like y'all keep talking all this shit. Unk. I'm like, yo, y'all gonna blink and y'all gonna be like, fuck, I'm 30! Probably 2027 if they release it in Japan. You said, don't remind me. I'll be 21 in a month. I'm telling you, the speed of flight, you gonna blink and 10 years gonna pass. Too many late 20s in here. Y'all should be in y'all primes. In the NBA, right? NBA? Oh my gosh, bro.